Styles! Styles are probably the most useful and also most daunting part of InDesign. Right now I'm going to talk about paragraph and character styles. There are other kinds of styles. I will get to those in another presentation. Paragraph styles are the styling for the entire paragraph. They're sort of the default for a paragraph. And a paragraph can be a heading, a subheading, it can be a text, it can be a bulleted list, any of those things, like a paragraph type section. In CSS, it's like an H1 class or a paragraph class. It's like a class. If you're going to do either paragraph styles or character styles, do paragraph styles. Character styles are kind of optional. They are the exceptions to the paragraph style that have been set, like a span style in HTML. This is for things like bold or italic or blue or 120% of size, something like that. The exceptions. The naming conventions, the only requirement is to make sense. Personally, I like to name my paragraph styles after their function: heading, subheading, text, bullets, footnote, callout, that kind of thing. Jen in Studio sets hers for the characteristic, like the font name and size and the leading. And Alex does both. So that's a personal preference. That's whatever makes sense to you. Character styles are best named after their characteristic, like superscript, italic, bold, the whatever is changing in that character style from the default. Because the character style is only the things that will change. So an example ref patch. I'm not saying that you need to use paragraph and character styles necessarily in your ref patches. I like to do it, but I know that you can take all the styles that are applied in Word when the ref patch is given and paste it in, retaining those styles. That's fine. This is just how they work together. So this entire paragraph has one style, one paragraph style, and I have called it example ref patch. Now, if something were different about it, like there's a different color or it was made bold without using a character style, this little override shows as a plus sign right here. To clear that override, we click this button. Then everything is consistent within this paragraph. Now, character styles, the bold is one character style, sample ref patch bold, and then italic is the other sample ref patch character style. These are applied very specifically. These are the exceptions to the rule that is the paragraph style. Now, if this is not new to you, and you would like to see where all of your overrides are, there is a highlighter tool to do that for you. It only works in normal mode. So if you go to the normal view mode, and you see that there is an override, this will show you where all of the overrides or lack of styles are. It will highlight them for you. It will highlight everything that is different than it expects. And you can clear those overrides, or you don't have to. It depends on the piece, it depends on you, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Sometimes we can't avoid overrides. We in Studio really it's kind of our goal to get as few overrides as possible, but in the layout phase, do whatever you need to do. This is just one more tool that is at your disposal if you would like it. Creating paragraph styles. It might be easiest to make it visually look the way that you want it to look, and then set that as a paragraph style. With text selected, the computer will pick up whatever it is that you have set for that and make those part of the paragraph style. like, this will pick up the font face and the weight, size, leading, tracking, anything that you have set, it will pick up. You can name it whatever you want to name it. And then you can hit OK. Typically, we would ask that you base it on nothing. Base the paragraph style on no paragraph styles. That can get confusing. That's, if you're new to this particularly, this is one more way that something can be unpredictable with your file, is if one style is based on another and then one changes but you don't want the other one to change. I will base one style on another once in a while, but it's under fairly specific circumstances. The other thing that we ask you to do is to check, or rather uncheck, a couple of things in making your styles. So, base on nothing. Check your basic character styles, make sure that's the tracking you want. Uncheck ligatures. Uncheck hyphenation. Editorial will see and will call out and ask you to change both of those things, ligatures and hyphenation. Uncheck them. It stops it from being an issue before it becomes an issue. I have seen a workfront route after going through editorial where 98% of the comments were things like fix crashing and line break to fix hyphenation, and this will do it for you. Let the computer do the work for you whenever possible. Something that isn't written down in here, but might be useful, is to know about the indents. So the left indent is the indentation of the entire paragraph. The first line indent is the indent on the left of just the first line. This can go up. Oh, I guess it can't go down. But if you have a left indent, you can set a negative left indent for the first line. This is how bulleted lists often work. This is how you set the indent for that. You can also set that here if you were making something a bulleted or numbered list. It's the same thing on the right. We almost never touch the right indents because we generally have things left aligned and then the rag is on the right, and it's just not as obvious if there is a right indent. That said, if you are typing in a text box and you can't figure out why your lines are breaking where they are because it hasn't reached the edge of the text box, check to see if there is a right or a last line indent applied. Now, space before and space after, these are important things to think about. Set them if you feel like it, whatever is right for the piece and for you. Please don't use returns instead. Redefining paragraph styles can be a very useful tool. If you are picking up a piece and you need to make some modifications, but the structure of how everything is set up will still work for the new piece, say it's a resize, you can, for example, reset all of your text paragraph styles. You can set all of your text style at the same time. Make one of them look the way that you want it to look compared to the last one. We've got this set here, and we've made everything blue and bold. We go to the paragraph style and we see the overrides. If we right-click, we can redefine the style. That will make whatever is here the new version of the style. So now there's no more override, and if we go back up here, this one has changed to match because it's on this style, and this is the new style. Commonly used paragraph styles: heading, subheading, text, bullets, footnotes, callout. If the idea of making up all new crazy paragraph styles is daunting, just set these 6 and don't worry about anything else. If even this list looks like too much, just set text. Text will cover the most real estate in your piece and probably be the most helpful for making everything consistent. Just start with the one, see how it goes, branch out when you're comfortable. Now, character styles, remember, character styles are the exception to the paragraph styles. Paragraph styles are things like heading, subheading, text. Character styles are superscript, bold, italic. Those are the exceptions to the rule that is the paragraph style. To make a new character style, same process, new character style, and then you name it what you want, base it on nothing, then set whatever you want to be different from the paragraph style. Like maybe you want it to be bold, or maybe you want it to be lighter, or black, or italic, or superscript. Now under General, there is an option to create a keyboard shortcut. However, you can only make keyboard shortcuts for your styles if you have a keyboard that has a number pad. And it's either Command number on the number pad or Shift number on the number pad. There may be other combinations, but I haven't found them. Commonly used character styles: superscript, bold, italic. Those are the three that I tend to set for just about every piece. And I usually set them in that order, but that's just me. And I have keyboard shortcuts for superscript is Shift 1 on the number pad, bold Shift 2 on the number pad, and italic is Shift 3 on the number pad. That's just my habit. That is where they're easy for me to find. If you're comfortable enough with paragraph styles and you want to set some character styles, try setting these. Anything else, set them if you feel like that would be helpful for you. I find that ref numbering goes a heck of a lot faster with character styles, particularly with keyboard shortcuts attached to them. So rather than typing the number and then selecting it and going to the superscript button up here and then repeating that, I like to use the character style. Now, with the keyboard shortcuts, it goes even faster. So I type the 1, I hold Shift, hit back to select the number. Without letting go of Shift, I hit 1 for my superscript. 1, Shift, and 1. I find this to be a lot faster.